Okay, trade recap. So today I took a loss, and yeah, so let me go over it. Looking at the daily time frame, we are rejecting off of this monthly fair value gap, as we have been for the past few days. And to me, the draw on liquidity was very clear. This high right here, which is the next premium array that we can reach for on the daily time frame. And on the 4 hour, as I was looking at the charts during London Open, we were hovering around this area right here. So I did not expect a big retracement for price to make to then continue higher towards the draw. I would just expect, when we also had news at 3:30, that price just accelerated towards the draw. But that was not the case. So I had to adapt, and I had to react to what price was giving me. So right here on the 15 minutes, you can see here the 3:30 candle, we did have this 15-minute fair value gap higher that we could potentially push higher from. So during news, we pushed into it. So I went into the 1 minute time frame to initially look for my entry pattern, but it never presented itself. Instead, we got very slow and choppy 1 minute price action here, which is not ideal for my entry pattern. I would want very quick move in and very quick move out, which we never got. So when we then, even though this fair value gap did not hold, we still gave a rejection higher, which we can expect. But when we then closed below this low that initially stung into the 50-minute fair value gap, and we now created a bearish 50-minute fair value gap overlapping with this low, and we tapped it to the pip. I went into the 1 minute time frame to look for my 1 minute ST, which we got here, and I entered on the creation of that. Looking at the trade like this, to me, just looking at it this way, it's a good trade. But what I failed to realize is that we had, since this is all fractal, we had this exact rejection here off of the 15-minute fair value gap. We had this exact price action, but on one time frame above again. So instead of having this rejection here, we now had it on the 1 hour before we stung into my used PD array, or the PD array I used to get involved. So looking at the 1 hour, we actually stung into this 1 hour fair value gap there, and we reject, even if we did not expect it to hold, we gave a rejection to that pushed into this PD array right here that I used to get involved. But since we rejected this and respected it for a short amount of time, we can expect the retracement into the PD arrays here to be a little bit more deep, a little deeper and more aggressive, since we are coming in with a lot of momentum. So what I could have done here to avoid this loss is to, instead of waiting for the ST, just ST, I could have waited for a which is that we come into the fair value gap here, which we did, but then have another clear, clean, confident push lower to then enter on the fair value gap here to then potentially target lower prices. But we never got that here. We instead, after this first fair value gap, we just chopped around, eventually swept this high, stopping me out to then now continue lower as well, which kind of sucks, but you have to recognize your mistakes and adapt, just improve, learn from your mistakes and losses. So that was the trade I was taking. I do think it will play out. I do think we will hit this 4 hour mitigation block, or this 4 hour fair value area overall. But I failed to realize that we came in and rejected off this 1 hour value gap. So yeah, I am it is what it is. Kinda sucks, but yeah. Learn, improve, and remember that you can't always take wins.